Both sides of a story.
Hey. Let's actually have three. We can't do four. Three. Do three. Yeah, three. Okay. Thank you. Three.
Both sides of a story. Knowledge is power. Classes in session hour 106.
Only a dad with a tired face, coming home from the daily race, bringing little of gold or fame to show how well he has played the game, but glad in his heart that his own rejoice to see him come and to hear his voice. Only a dad with a brood of 4, one of 10 million men or more, plodding along in the daily strife, bearing the whips and the scorns of life, with never a whimper of pain or hate, for the sake of those who at home await. Only a dad, neither rich nor poor, neither rich nor proud, merely one of the surging crowd, toiling, striving from day to day, facing whatever may come his way, silent whenever the harsh condemn, and bearing it all for the love of them. Only a dad, but he gives his all to smooth the way for his children small, doing with courage stern and grim the deeds that his father did for him. This is the line that for him I pen. Only a dad, but the best of men.
not very far. She said she thought that she could never love again. And then there he stood with that big wide grin. He married my mother and he took us in. And now we belong to the man with that big wide grin. I've got to color this man father. I'm gonna color him love. Color him love. I've got to color him father. Color him love. I'm about to color this man love. Color him love. He's just been so good to me. Color him love. I've got to color him love. Color him love. I'm gonna color him father. Color him love. I've got to color this man love. Color him love. He's just been so good. Now the man at my house, he's so big and strong. He goes to work each day and he stays all day long. He comes home each night looking tired and beat. He sits down at the dinner table and has a bite to eat. Never a frown, always a smile. When he says to me, how's my child? I said that I've been studying hard all day in school, trying very hard to understand the golden rule. I think I'll color this man father. I think I'll color him love. Color him love. Said I'm gonna color him father.
You're listening to Pearl 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
Both sides of the story.
The Bureau of Gender Affairs, an agency of the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, will be hosting the Outstanding Father Awards this Friday, June 14, at the Talk of the Town at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. The awards aim to acknowledge and celebrate the vital role of fathers and father figures within families and in the wider society, and by extension, their contributions to nation building. Join Power 106 FM for a live outside broadcast of both sides of the story from 2 to 5 p.m. for highlights of the event. This broadcast is brought to you by the Bureau of Gender Affairs, 529 South Odeon Avenue, Kingston, an agency of the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. That's a broadcast of both sides of the story from the Bureau of Gender Affairs Outstanding Father Awards this Friday, June 14, Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston from 2 to 5 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
Killed in the war, and she knows she had I'll color this man love. He's just been so good to me. I know I've got to color him love. I'm gonna color him love. Now the man in my house is so big and strong. He goes to work each day and he stays all day long. He comes home each night looking tired and beat. He sits down at the dinner table and has a bite to eat. Never a frown, always a smile. When he says to me, how's my child? I said that I've been studying hard all day in school, trying very hard to understand the golden rule. I think I'll color this man father. I think I'll color him love. Said I'm gonna color him father. I think I'll color the man love. Yes, I will.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Our special guest is Group Executive for Sales at the JN Group, Ms. Petal James. And going to the break, she was excited of telling us about the securing property, you know, being the single most important asset that we'll ever have to acquire, and lots of related matters. So I'll give you an opportunity to pick up where you left off, Petal James.
Right. I was just reiterating the process. One, you must have your TRN to start and do business in Jamaica. Two, we must do your pre-approval, and the pre-approval process does include, gathering your income information. If you're in the US, I would need your, whether your file tax returns or your W-2s, or if you have your regular payslip and your job letter, we need that. If you're in Canada, you're self-employed, we need your notice of assessment, or we need your file tax returns as well, your job letter or payslip if you have that. And in the UK, I know there's a P60 form that we would need, or your file tax returns, income, that is your payslip or job letter. So we need your income, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to verify your income. And we also need your credit report from those credit bureaus overseas, Experian. I know these are the three widely used: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, right? Mm-hmm. So we need your income. But first, even before that, Dervan, it's always good to prepare for this process. It's always good to start saving from now. And JN has a vacation account that you can start saving with good returns for those, you can send your money from overseas into that account to save. We'll be, positioning that at the diaspora conference next week as well. So, and so you need to start planning and saving, because buying a property or investing in a property, it takes some cash up front to start that process, and that cash up front could be in the form of a deposit to the vendor, and that could be between 5 and 10%. There are also some escrows, so what we call sunk costs. That is, registration costs, your attorney fees. There's some valuation report fees, survey report fees. Those are some costs that, you'd have to consider in buying a property. And so you don't want to let yourself flat-footed. You want to have those costs upfront, and you can complete your, those are called like a closing cost as well, application costs and so forth. So those are some critical prerequisites to start the process. Of course, when you have been pre-approved by JN, we have JN properties in the mix. And so helping you to find a property, we send you over to JN properties, of course, with your permission. We send you over to JN properties to help you to start a search into a new development, or you want something on the open market. we help you with that process, and we take it from there, helping you find a way into investing in Jamaica. Yeah.
There are some of us who are amazed at the
Right.
speed with which properties are rolled out and made ready for occupants.
Mhm.
And it's, people are saying, why? Whoa, something good is happening here.
Yes.
What is causing this boom as you
Ah.
see it?
Let me take you back to COVID-19, Dervan.
Uh-huh.
We thought the experts in the market, realtors, we thought because of COVID and things like a standstill for a pretty good while, we thought that things were gonna be downhill, and during that time, that 2 year period, we saw a significant spike in the purchase from our end and the sale from the other end, that's the construction and the developers end, in the construction industry and in the real estate industry. The market is poised, for a boom. And it has continued even before COVID and post COVID. It has continued because guess what, Dervan? People want to buy. They want to own their own home. They want to create wealth. They want to create generational wealth. They want to leave something for their family or for their estate. And so owning your own home, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a big business because the Jamaican market supports that. It appreciates the value on your property. And I can tell you, when you buy something today for say 10 million, and by next year, the other year, it's at 12, 13, 14, because that's the market it is in.
Mhm.
It is sure.
Yes.
Once the property is in a marketable area, it is sure that your investment is gonna go up because people want to own their own home. They don't want to pay rent every day.
Mhm.
They want to say they want to own their own home because they feel good
Mhm.
starting their own key. And so the construction industry has seen that boom. By the time you look, even if you put up 8 units and you have an open house, by tomorrow it's gone.
True.
It's gone. It's gone. You don't have hands to sell. And that's what drives up the price as well and the demand because you have so many people going after this one good.
And
That's
having,
economic for you.
having said that, there are those
Yeah.
who are maybe standing on the sidelines and
Yeah.
have been waiting for some kind of a crash. I don't want to,
No.
say too much about that, but
Yeah, we have been hearing that forever that there's going to be a crash. No. We believe the market has been, even with interest rates trending a little up, and that's on the base of the BOJ deposits overnight rate of 7%. Rates have been trending up a little. Rates are between about 8 and 12% now, depending on which institution you approach. But even so, persons are still invested, whether they want to do Airbnb, whether they're going to do long-term rental, or whether they want to move in and flip. They want to move in, sell, and come back again on the market and buy something else. There's a return. There's a positive return on that investment in real estate, and you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Yeah.
and what are they going for? What are the home buyers looking for, and are they getting what they want?
The home buyers are going for somewhere that is secure.
Mhm.
They want something, and they want modern living lifestyle. They want a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, Dervan. They want their own space. They want an ensuite. Some persons who are starting out, they just want somewhere where they can lay their head and they start again. They want probably a one studio. They want a secure environment. They want the amenities in the same space. And that's what the developers are giving you now. I was speaking to one recently that told me that he's trying to build his property and also have wash and dryer installed as part of the purchase. Yes, because person want to buy and just move in tomorrow. So he's taking away the headache of you going to buy appliance and all these things. So he wants to put that part of the purchase. Installing installing your appliance already We saw ROK. They have given you the property down there with fridge and built-in stove and so forth. So persons want modern living, and you're seeing the development having the modern style, layout, open concept, and having your on suite, your gated community, a pool, in there, and your swing and your green area, where kids can live and thrive.
Yes.
Because person want to be secure in their communities. Yeah.
And for those who perhaps are still doubting and wondering if they can ever manage to properly secure a mortgage to start to get their own property up and running,
Mhm.
what what do you say
Well,
to those?
I say to those persons, you can't sit on the sidelines and say, I wonder if I can.
Hmm.
I'd say to you, come on over and find out if you can start. Because some persons want to start today and get the whole house tomorrow, but without any planning. I'd say to you, start finding out how this process works and how you can achieve probably by next year. But you have to start now.
Yeah.
You can't start and wonder if you can start. You have to start the process. And some person may be overburdened with loans or liabilities. And I always say to home buyers, it's not what you're earning on Dervan.
Mhm.
It's what you have on the side as liabilities. And so you have to put your priorities in place if you want to start investing. I tell you, Dervan, my brother, he's in the UK, and he said to me, Petal, if I listened to you 10 years ago, I'd be a rich man now.
Wow.
We're talking on the weekend. Yes, and he said to me, if I listened to you 10 years ago, listen to your prodding, and it's only when I said to him, listen, you can't be fixing you don't own your own home in the UK. You have to own your own home for you and your children. And it's just this week he was looking at the appreciation of that home overseas. He's looking to do a equity loan or to buy another property. And he said, boy, Petal, if we didn't listen to you back then, I'd be a rich man now. And I'm saying to my listeners, you may be on the down now, but if you look at your finances and you put it in perspective, stop the impulsive buying, stop the unnecessary buying, live simple. You can own your own home. That property can appreciate. You can sell it. You can buy another one. You can keep it. You can use the rental income, buy another one. And that's how you create wealth for you and your generation.
What should be that? What?
Start now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to ask what should the next step be at this stage? You have given information on what to do.
Yes.
So it's about acting right now.
Action.
Mm-hmm.
You can visit the World Wide Web, .jbank.com. We have our sales experts there. You can call me. My number is 876-878-4743. I can put you on to a sales rep, and I can also assist you in your search. Let us start the talking. Let us start the action and putting things into motion to own your own home.
Well said, well done. Thank you so much for adding value to this afternoon's edition of Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. We appreciate you, Petal James, Group Executive Sales, JN Group. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. To you too. Take care. That's Petal James, Group Executive Sales, JN Group. There's more after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock. Here is a financial literacy tip from your friends at Power 106 FM. Protect your wealth. If you rent, get renter's insurance to protect the contents of your home from loss due to theft or fire. Read the policy carefully to see what's covered and what isn't. Disability insurance protects your ability to earn an income by providing you with a steady income if you're unable to work for an extended period due to illness or injury. If you want help managing your money, find a fee-only financial planner to provide unbiased advice. How much do you know about spices and the impact they have on your everyday life? Join us every other Friday during Farm Talk with Alpia McKenzie at 6:18 a.m. for Spice Up Jamaica. We'll give you tips, tidbits, and interviews about the revitalization and sustainability of the Jamaican spices, including ginger, turmeric, and pimento. That's Spice Up Jamaica every other Friday at 6:18 a.m. during Farm Talk with Alpia McKenzie, right here on Power 106 FM. Spice of Jamaica is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture Food for Progress Jamaica Spices Project.
Trying very hard to understand the goal. I think I'll call this man father. I think I'll call him love. Say I'm gonna call him love.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Coming up at 3:30, it will be time for Your Legal Corner with U.S. Immigration Attorney Dahlia Walker Huntington. Before that, though, it's World Blood Donor Day coming up on Friday. That's tomorrow, Friday, the 14th of June 2024. And we're looking to Mr. Igor Allen, National Blood Donor Coordinator, National Blood Transfusion Service, to tell us more. Good afternoon, Igor Allen. Good to talk with you again. How are you?
Good afternoon, Dervan. Good afternoon to you.
One. Likewise, thank you very much. Can you remind us why World Blood Donor Day is so important?
World Blood Donor takes place on June 1st. The aim is to raise global awareness for the need of safe blood and blood products for transfusion and the critical contribution voluntary unpaid blood donors make towards national health system.
Mm-hmm. And how will we here in Jamaica be commemorating World Blood Donor Day this year?
This year, our main focus is at 21 Flypen Road, where we will have a commemorative service or ceremony as well as a blood drive. We are, however, encouraging blood donors to go to the centers right across Jamaica.
What are some of the things that we are looking to implement to ensure that we get more blood donations?
Well, we'll make those announcements tomorrow. However, what I can say is that the impetus is to make blood donation more convenient.
Routine
as well. And as you know, we have been focusing on the younger donors, especially in our schools and universities.
Mm-hmm. And we gather there is a new software being teased, the Delphin software. Are you able to talk about that?
Well, what it will do is make our systems more streamlined, make us more efficient, and make us better able to communicate with our donors.
And for those of us as Jamaicans who have not been practicing donating blood, can you tell us why we should begin this practice?
Well, it's quite simple, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
If we donate, people live. That's the simple formula.
Mm-hmm.
However, I must say, especially for male donors, there are added benefits. Not only do they get to screen their health, but they will see a myriad of benefits post-donation. They will feel a little bit more uplifted and lively.
And what about those of us who are a little squeamish, no matter how masculine and macho we think we are? We're a little squeamish when it comes on to just the thought of feeling the tip of a needle.
Understood. However, most of our donors that we find to be squeamish, post-donation go, oh, that was it?
Yeah, it's not as bad as some of us see it.
No, it's not. And we have to take into account that the great good that this unit will do.
Mm-hmm.
Blood is really medicine, prescribed in hospitals right across Jamaica every day.
Mm-hmm.
The shelf life of blood is only 35 days. Not that you get to keep it that long.
Give us that again. Whereas, well, as good as 35 days?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what about this arrangement where you can donate blood on behalf? I'm trying to remember it. It's on behalf of some either family member or otherwise.
Okay, that's a significant portion of the donations in Jamaica, upwards of 85%.
Wow.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What we want is for persons to come in and donate routinely so we don't have price.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because when you need blood, you need it now.
That's right.
We don't have 24 to 36 hours to wait on it to be processed.
Mm-hmm.
A quick fact, we need approximately 50% of the demand for blood in this country.
60 or 50?
50.
50. Okay. Mm-hmm.
If 2% of the population donates once per year,
mm-hmm.
they're good.
What? So how does the blood bank plan to through the Ministry of Health plan to create, to ratchet up the interest?
We continue to create an enabling environment and make it easier for donors to donate, as evidenced by our Saturday opening hours, us going to the donors in the different workplaces, offices, call centers, wherever there are donors, we will go.
And I gather you have some serial, in a good way, some serial blood donors.
Oh, yes. We have a board at the NBTS office of a number of persons who have donated more than 50 times.
What?
So we welcome persons to join this ministry
mm-hmm.
of saving lives.
And soon at what age? How soon, age-wise? 16?
16? They can start
okay.
At 16.
Okay. And what do we need to know about giving blood, donating blood, in terms of the mechanics?
Well, what we encourage persons to do is ensure that they eat properly before they turn up at a center or blood drive, and that they are properly hydrated. And we'll take it from there.
Does it matter what I choose to eat?
We recommend that you do not eat dairy or fatty foods pre-donation.
No dairy or fatty foods before donation.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's useful advice. And do they need to take anything with them?
Yes. they need to take a government issued ID with them so we can verify who they are.
And what happens to their donation? It is, I would imagine, kept. Go ahead.
So the donation, once it's made, we separate into components
Mhm.
to ensure that we utilize the blood in an efficient manner,
Mhm.
right? Then we do the testing to ensure that the units are safe, and then we distribute
Mhm.
right across the country.
Yes. And you are so keen on bringing out potential blood donors that you have extended opening hours.
So at the blood bank, 21 Penny Road, we go 8 to 4 Monday to Thursday, and then 8 to 3 on a Friday. What I will do is shoot you the opening hours for all the centers across Jamaica.
Okay, I look out for that.
Right.
Mhm.
And I must say, a lot of persons complain that we don't have sufficient blood. However, it's something they can control. If they turn up, we will collect, and the country will have sufficient.
Yes. And for those who are peculiar when it comes on to their health and well-being.
This is a perfect opportunity.
Mhm. How so?
Because once you donate blood, over time you get to know your baseline figures. The Ministry of Health is doing a campaign, know your numbers. Blood donation fits into that because once you routinely do it, you know what your baseline numbers are. So if something isn't right, you catch it that much quicker.
Mhm. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And the research will tell you blood donors tend to be more healthy.
Yes. And do you find that you've been getting more individuals and groups coming forward to donate, or is it a case of those who have over the years organized uh, blood donation apart from the National Blood Bank have been doing that on a continuous basis?
Well, it's the traditional partners, but I must say, post-COVID, the numbers are falling off. Because what you're finding is that less persons are actually in office.
Oh, I see.
So the traditional drives themselves sometimes have waned somewhat.
Mm-hmm. I see. And there's a time as well that you use the opportunity to um, to applaud or otherwise recognize blood donors.
Yes.
That
And
is
this
still
is
done.
what World Blood Donor Day is about.
Mhm.
It's celebrating our donors. And this is the 20th year of doing so.
Okay, I'm seeing for 2024, the World Blood Donor Day slogan is 20 years of celebrating giving. Thank you, blood donors. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
She said she thought that she could never love again. And then there he stood with that big wide grin. He married my mother and he took us in. And now we belong to the man with that big wide grin. I've got to color this man father. I'm gonna color him love. Color him love. I've got to color him father. I believe I'll color this man love. He's just been so good.
We also take note of the fact that particular importance is being directed to the Western Regional Health Authority, which we gather has been experiencing lower than usual blood donations.
Indeed. So what we are doing is encouraging those in Western Jamaica to not only go out and donate, but post blood drives, because what we are finding in the West, there's an increased incidence of motor vehicle accidents, and the crime rate is affecting them on that side.
Yes, up to this morning, that vehicle that overturned, I think they said it spun a few times. 13 people injured, and unfortunately one didn't make it.
My condolences to that family.
Yes, so say all of us. So it seems it's going to have to be an everybody.
Partnership for life.
Yes, because go ahead. Sorry.
It takes all of us to care. So particular school administrators in the West and across Jamaica, I implore them to partner with us, because every drop counts.
Yes.
It's hard when there is a need and we're unable to supply that. And this is something all of us have control over.
Mm-hmm.
So all those influencers out there, come on board, join the Partnership for Life.
Yeah, we need to see more of that kind of coalescing around a particular situation to make things better for the benefit.
And the thing about it,
yes,
is that when persons donate, it actually helps them.
Tell us how.
Particularly on meals.
Mm-hmm.
When they donate, it reduces the iron levels in the body.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike our sisters who have inbred regulations, we don't have that. So once we donate as meals, it lessens our risk for heart disease.
Oh, really?
Yes. Our Muslim brothers used to do what we call cupping, which they would annually bleed into a cup to reduce their iron levels.
That's quite something.
Right?
This is fascinating.
And the research backs me up on it. So, regular donors live longer and better lives.
Let the donations begin.
Indeed, indeed. We look forward to it.
Definitely. And with the other elements being brought into the mix as well.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And we continue to try and be more convenient for our donors right across the country.
I wanted to go there next in terms of the convenience. If once we make it, the more convenient we make this. Yeah.
We opened up a center, or we opened a center in Spanish Town 2 years ago. And we continue to champion that center. Right? And
where's that? In the corporate area or in rural Jamaica?
No, it's Spanish Town.
Oh, okay.
Right? At the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They just got a new location just for themselves.
Oh.
And they're open every Saturday, 9 to 3.
Mhm.
And we continue to build on this effort.
And we can't afford to give up at all. We have to just keep
We
going.
will never give up.
Mhm. Just do what needs to be done. Get it done.
And that's the mission.
In terms
There's
of,
a need,
yes, go ahead.
and we will try our utmost to meet that need.
Mhm. And in terms of the general procedures, for those who have never been in that kind of a setting, having to give blood before, what is that experience like?
It's a simple process. It starts with taking your demographic data reception. Then you do a simple blood grouping and iron level test. Then you speak with the medical practitioner. All being well, then you donate.
Okay.
And the donation is less than 10 minutes.
Mhm.
The process itself takes about 20 minutes.
You sometimes have to make provisions just to make sure the donor is okay.
Indeed.
Mhm.
So once you donate, we allow you to relax for a few minutes, recalibrate, hydrate you, and then all being well, off to work or off to home to rest.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Mhm. And we really congratulate you, Igor Allen, because you have been on this road, on this journey, in this field for a very long time. Although you don't look a day over 16.
You're most kind.
but but this has long become your duty, in a manner of speaking.
It
You've,
is, but
you've,
it takes a team.
yes.
And I want to say thank you to the team that continues to support this mission.
Yeah, we join you in that.
A particular shout out to the uniform groups who donate routine.
Oh, they do it routinely.
They do.
Okay, that's good. That's good. In fact, I'm not surprised that they, for example, the JDF would be involved. I'm not surprised by that because I have learned. I don't want to give you wrong information, but generally speaking, that the most of the support to charities and related matters through coming through the JDF is, well, most of it comes from the JDF. I'm trying to remember
Well,
where.
they continue to support where they can.
Mhm.
Missions, especially of national importance.
Yes.
And it's part of their mandate that they continue through the different line of efforts to support.
Yeah.
A particular thank you to those at the headquarters who continue to support the National Blood Transfusion Service. And there are plans also to even further strengthen those relations.
Mhm. But
And we say thank you to them for the continued support.
yes, indeed, we join you in saluting the members of the uniformed groups like the Army, for example, on the tremendous level of generosity that they have been pouring out and are still pouring out.
I want to point out also that their GNSP program, which is a part of the LEGS program, a part of the Give Back,
Mhm.
is blood donation.
Okay.
As each intake posts a blood drive close to the end of their tenure.
So you really have it together, don't you?
Well, we are on the mission of saving lives.
Yeah. Can't afford to miss.
Indeed. One shot.
Yeah. I quite understand. And I'd asked about the age. At the lower level it's 16, as
16. At
was
the
said.
upper level, 60.
60.
First time donors, and if you're a regular donor, you can go up to 65.
And have you ever taken note of the male-female ratio in giving blood?
Well, females have a higher propensity for attempting to donate. However, the males are more likely to actually be able to donate.
Okay. And what's the frequency with which, unfortunately, potential donors have been turned back?
About anywhere from 30 to 50%, depending on what's happening.
Okay. And have there been any instances of those who change their minds? They're initially planning. Okay. Mm-hmm. So who are the ones who are doing that now?
Generally the males.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But we continue to encourage them.
Yes.
That this mission is of utmost importance.
Mm-hmm. For those who would like to organize a blood drive, what do they need to know? What do they need to do?
Well, once they have the people and the space, we will come to them. Mm-hmm. They can reach out to us either on our socials, One Blood Bank JA, on Instagram or Twitter, or they can call our offices at 876-630-1818. So that's 630-1880.
And you're on social media, of course, right?
Yes, sir. One Blood Bank GA, both on Twitter and Instagram.
Well, we hope the message is going out and people are in fact planning to give and give generously in the next blood drive, whether it is created by those who have done it before or started by those who perhaps have had a particular experience.
And they're invited to our centers tomorrow, right across the island. So I will send your producer a list of all the centers and open hours.
Please do. It's been a pleasure, Igor Allen. Thank you so much, and the team, for the work that you continue to do. We salute you, and we wish you and your team all the very best for World Blood Donor Day and beyond.
Thank you, sir, and I'll see you soon.
Looking forward to that. Thanks a lot. All the best.
All the best.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Because without his son, life ain't very sweet.
Coming up in just a moment, it will be time for Your Legal Corner with U.S. Immigration Attorney Delia Walker Huntington. Get ready for that, and you'll be able to ask any question in relation to U.S. immigration matters. Any U.S. immigration question that you have, Delia Walker Huntington is ready to answer them right after this break.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming from customs control areas. Call Crime Stop at 311.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and it is time. What time is it? It is, well, first of all, it is a Thursday, just after 3:30 in the afternoon, and that means time for your legal corner with U.S. immigration attorney Delia Walker Huntington. And it's time for you to place those calls, to put forward those questions, and send those messages and comments and questions and issues with respect to U.S. immigration matters. But first, uh, how about an extract from the Gleaners Immigration Corner? How can I get my daughters to travel with me? Dear Mrs. Walker Huntington, my son has filed for me to live in the US and the filing has come through. I now have an interview. However, I have two teenaged daughters who I have never left to go anywhere. I'm a single mother. I would like them to migrate with me to America. I added them on my form as follow to join. But how can I let them travel with me when I'm going? I need your help, concerned mother.
Good afternoon, Dervan. How are you?
I am fine, thanks. Good afternoon, Delia Walker Huntington. Good to have you on board. And yeah, I like this. Why didn't we do this before? No, well, not me. Well, not you, me. In terms of sharing from the gleaner, the gleaners immigration corner.
Sure. So let me this this particular situation here can be heartbreaking. So a son or daughter files for their parents that they're an adult American citizen, they're over 21 American citizen, and they're eligible to file for their parents. That parent has other children, usually younger children who they're concerned about. Those children are the siblings of the adult American citizen petitioner. So unfortunately, the children cannot travel at the same time with the parents because there's a separate category for sibling filing. Those children cannot become derivatives of their mother's petition. There are two options. Either the son files for them, which is not practical because it takes 12 to 15 years for those visas to become available in the sibling category. So, what mother ought to do, or the other option she has, is to get her interview, make her entry into the United States, then immediately file separate petitions for her daughters and also file for a re-entry permit that would allow the mother to remain in Jamaica for up to 2 years while the petition is being processed because she doesn't want to leave her children. When it comes to the second portion of the filing, which is what we call consular processing, USCIS is done now. The filing is at NVC, the National Visa Center, and mother has to do an affidavit of support. Depending on where mother is, that might be difficult because she's not working in the US. Then she's going to have to get a joint sponsor. She also may in the process have to apply to renew the re-entry permit if the time 2 years, let's say they give her 2 years and the petition is taking longer than that. She has to apply to renew it, and she also has to indicate if she's still in Jamaica at the time of the interview that she's going to be migrating with the children once they get their paperwork. So it can be a little, it's a little daunting to do, and as I said, very heartbreaking for parents who have to leave their children behind. At least these children are teenagers, so they're a little older and can speak up for themselves. Sometimes the parents have toddlers or newborn babies, and there is some amount of separation that has to take place, and you try to minimize it as much as possible.
Okay, here's another one for you, Miss Delia. Dervan, good day to you and the lawyer, and keep up the good work you are doing. This is George in South Carolina. This is to the lawyer. As a J1 holder, I have gotten the no objection letter from Jamaica in May this year, and it is presently in Washington processing. However, my time expires this June 2024, and the grace period is the end of July. My question is, what if I don't get the waiver before the end of July before the end of July? Do I have to leave the USA before the end of July, or is it that I can wait in the USA for the waiver to finish process, even if I don't receive it before the end of July?
Well, first of all, the J1 visa is sometimes it's called work and travel, but that's not really a good explanation for it. It's given in a variety of circumstances where persons are going to fulfill jobs in the US. And some of the visas have a 2 year foreign residency requirement, which means that before you can obtain another um, visa, either work visa, green card, spouse sponsorship, employer filing for you, you have to stay out of the US for 2 years or more. There's a waiver that can be applied for. And this person is in the process of doing it. It involves the Jamaican government issuing what's called a no objection letter. Then it is sent to Washington, to the State Department, and then they process the waiver. Now, to answer the person's question, it will depend on what kind of visa you're getting. So let's say you came on the J1, you marry an American citizen, and you're trying to adjust your status, but you can't do that until you get a no objection letter. Then it really won't matter if you overstay. However, if you are an employment-based sponsorship, that is the next step that you're going to, you should not overstay. You need to look into extending that visa, or you're gonna have to sit out and then get the waiver and process to come back in, which would be before the 2 years if that waiver is back.
All right, Miss Delia. Let's see. So you through responding to the question on
Yes,
immigration
yes, the
con?
question that was in the cleaner. I do want to talk about one other thing if you have the time.
Sure.
It's something that I saw the Biden administration suggesting or dropping a hint that they're considering. It is called, it's the extension of parole in place. So what is parole in place? If you are married to a member of the military, U.S. military, you are able to apply, and you are undocumented. You're able to apply for your papers, but while you're waiting, you get work permit. Now you may say, well, don't people who can adjust their status already get work permit? Not if you came into the country either um, illegally, most likely illegally. So let's say you came across the border, you entered without inspection in some way, shape, or form. You are not eligible to adjust your status. Persons who can adjust their status are persons who entered lawfully and have a qualifying petition for them. And by lawfully, we mean you entered with a visa in your own visa in your own passport. There's history of people coming up on what we call photo switch passports. Very difficult to do that nowadays.
Mm-hmm. This one, sorry, go ahead.
All right. So the photo switch passport is where you were able to have a passport in someone else's name, and you switch out the photograph and put your photograph in there, so it reflects as if you have a visa but not in your correct name. And many Jamaicans entered the United States over 20 years or more ago in this fashion. And some of them are still unable to regularize themselves because of this issue. Not only did you enter unlawfully, but also there's the issue of fraud that may require a waiver. But if you entered unlawfully across the border, you came on a boat through the Bahamas and you entered the US, but you never saw an immigration officer, you were not inspected. If you marry an American citizen, you have to leave the country in order to get your green card. And you have to apply. One of the things the Obama administration did was they instituted what's called a provisional waiver. So you could apply for the waiver of the 10-year bar before leaving the country, as opposed to going home and waiting on the waiver to be decided. So that was a big plus, and we've been able to help several clients in that fashion. Now, what Biden is proposing is expanding this parole in place to persons who are not married to military spouses, just anyone who requires a green card but can't do it because they don't have they were not inspected. They don't have proof that they entered the country with a visa, or they did not. They did not enter the country with a visa, and so they are stuck in limbo. Although they're married to an American and they may even have American citizen children. Because in order to get this provisional waiver, you have to show hardship to your spouse, and not everybody can do that. So there are thousands of people, maybe more. Of course, the administration would be privy to information I don't have. But I can tell you that there are hundreds of thousands of persons among the 12 or so million undocumented who are in America who cannot get their green card, although they're married to an American citizen. So it's very interesting. I guess it's sort of coming up to buffer that program we talked about last week that restricted the number of people who can enter the country on any given day at the border to ask for asylum.
We'll give you an opportunity to come back with that.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, just a moment, please. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
Yo, catch the man in the new car. Come in the Jenna, make with the road. Yo, bro, stop the foolishness. We don't need to drive so fast. He's in a youth. You see the man a big driver. Road burn up here now. Yo, bro, stop the car and make me come out. You need to drive better. Road safety begins with you. A message from the Road Safety Unit.
You're listening to Your Legal Corner, your source of information on all matters regarding U.S. immigration. You can call in with your questions and concerns on 876-922-41125. You can send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. Now, back to Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story on Power 106 FM.
Thank you for your understanding, Ms. Dahlia. We had to take that time break. But thank you very much for staying on the line with us. And we'll give you an opportunity to finish what you were saying before we had to take that break suddenly.
That it's a very touchy situation, and persons should ensure that they have proper legal representation when they are in these quandaries. Please don't take the word of somebody who, quote unquote, look about immigration. I had a consultation with somebody this week and asking the person some questions, and the person referred to somebody in Jamaica, and I said, "Is that a lawyer?" And they said, "No, they look about immigration." I kind of cringe because we've seen far too many people who get themselves in such a hole that you can't get them out of. People believe that they hire a lawyer, they mess up, they hire a lawyer, the lawyer can fix it. The lawyer can only work within the boundaries of the law, what provisions are available to a person in a particular situation to try to get them out of it and to get them to reunite with family members or to join a new person. Sometimes we get people consulting, they are in a new relationship, fairly new, they want to get married or they want a fiance visa. And you unfortunately have to tell them that they cannot get this visa and you can't take the case because they are permanently barred from America and there is no waiver available to them. A lot of times people are barred and we can apply for a waiver, which is a discretionary form of relief. But sometimes there is no waiver. We don't get to make any kind of argument because the law does not allow it. And I will not take a case where it's just going to be get kickback. I mean, it can get denied for some other reason, but not because there is no section of the law that allows it. So it's very, very important that we try to, when it comes to immigration law, that we try to live within the bounds of the law, and also if something happens, to get proper representation and not just somebody who look about immigration. Okay?
That's right. And here's another one, Miss Delia. Hi, Mr. Malcolm and Mrs. Walker. I would imagine that's Walker Huntington. I'm in the 14 category. I did the
In the what?
police in the 14 category. That's what I'm seeing. Sorry. In the F4 category.
Okay.
So I'm in the F4 category. I did the police record already, and I'm waiting on the medical and interview now. I was asking if I have to do the police record again. I know that reach in July 22nd. Now my priority date is July 2607.
Oh, okay. So the police clearance is now valid for 2 years. That's number one. They're in F4, they're in the sibling category, US citizen sibling filing. And in the month of June, the priority date that has visas available is July 22nd of '07. So if they're July 26th, they need to watch keenly because at any moment now, assuming that in July they move forward a month, then that person would be getting their appointment and their medical. But I can check. I am not sure if the July visa bulletin has come out yet. It usually comes out close to the middle of the month, so it may or may not be out yet. So that kind of gives you an indication of what is to come. But for now, this person can be aware that they are working on July 22nd. And I'll check it and let you know in a couple minutes. So that person is listening. Just keep listening and I'll let you know.
And here's another one for you, Miss Delia. Good afternoon. What year are they currently processing visa for I-130?
Okay, so the I-130, that's not a complete question. We need a lot more info. The I-130 is the form that you file, that everybody files when they're filing for a relative. So it depends on who is filing for whom. Then you can determine the approximate wait time for a visa. Okay, so we need more information. And to go back to the previous person in July, they're currently showing that F4 is in August 1 of '07, which means that if they keep this date come July 1st, then a visa would be available for the previous listener, and they would get an appointment date, and then they would go to the medical and go in for the appointment.
if they keep the date. So just keep watching because sometimes they change it before the actual month comes around. So that's why I always operate in the month we're in and don't give the date ahead, although it might be out there.
Another one yet for you, Miss Dahlia. Hi,
Mhm.
hi, Dervan. Good evening. Can you please ask the lawyer if, while you are waiting on the waiver in the USA, can you switch to a tourist visa to get an extension of time while you wait on the waiver?
I think this is the person from the J1, and the answer is no. A
Okay.
J1, no objection letter is not something that you should be doing on your own. I'm assuming that the person had an attorney who did this for them, and so they need to be speaking to their attorney because, in particular, as I said, if it's an employer who is doing who wants the person to work. I don't even know did they get that visa? Did they get the H visa? What's the next step? So you have to think about that because if it's an employment base, you cannot have any unlawful presence. The when it's a marriage, you can have unlawful presence, and it's not held against you. But when it's an employment base, you cannot, and you can't stay in America and switch to a visitor's visa.
Something here about good evening, both sides of the story, asking the lawyer why do they stress arrested and not convictions in their speaking or doing, innocent until proven guilty. The high standards. Is not that lowering standards indeed?
I'm not sure what this person means,
I
but
don't know either.
um, if it is a drug charge and you're arrested for it, even if you're not convicted, it can be a bar to a visa. It can be grounds for removal based on this theory called reason to believe. So you can have an arrest that was dismissed, um, and it still counts against you for immigration purposes when it comes to a drug related offense or even drug related money laundering. You can be implicated in money laundering and it prevents you from getting a green card or a visa. This is why I've seen persons who get a lot of Western Union or wire money transfers, not just Western Union, but any of the other companies. And it raises a red flag that, um, you know, a person is involved in drug trafficking because of the excessive amounts of money transfers they're receiving or the amount of the money transfer. Another instance is you traveling with more than 10,000 US dollars and not declaring it. That is a big red flag. If you are searched and the money is found and you haven't declared it, the money can be seized. And even if the money is returned to you, that um, hint that you are carrying in excess of $10,000 can be used against you if you are then it's extrapolated that the reason you are doing it is money laundering having to do with a controlled substance. So very detailed, Dervan. We can talk about this another time. I see time is running out because so many of our people get caught up in this carrying money for somebody or all kinds of situations that people find themselves in that has lifelong negative consequences separating them from their family members.
Yes. Another one here, Miss Dahlia. My mother overstayed for 3 years. She went home for the interview but was denied. Is there a waiver available to her?
Yes, and I wonder who filed for her because it is, see, again, this is when people are doing things themselves. If you have overstayed in the United States and you're adjusting status, meaning you're the immediate relative of an American citizen. So you're the spouse of an American citizen, you are the parent of an American citizen. And they filed for you. They're supposed to file to change your status, not file for you to go back to Jamaica and be interviewed. And so, in an instance like this, where this person has returned to be interviewed, we need to know who filed for them and whether or not they can apply for the waiver. Because right now they face a 10-year bar to going back to the United States that can be waived if they have the qualifying relative to do that. So I suggest that they seek counsel with an attorney to find out what mom can do, because mom clearly did not counsel with an attorney or an immigration lawyer before leaving to go to Jamaica.
Okay. And let's see. I think we have exhausted all the messages so far that are pertinent to U.S. immigration matters.
All right.
Let's see. Oh, here's another one coming in for you. And we still have a couple of minutes. Quickly. Hi, Dervan. Can you ask Miss Dahlia if someone who took voluntary almost 20 years ago can apply for a visitor's visa? Deportation was due to transporting marijuana.
Oh dear. The answer would be no. Because although you're taking voluntary departure, what is the underlying reason for you being removed from the United States? So if it's drug trafficking, and they would need to check, I don't know how they got voluntary departure in the first place. So I think that person needs to sit down with an immigration lawyer as well. Because if you're a drug trafficker, if it's anything more than 30 grams of marijuana, there is no waiver for an immigrant visa. And while theoretically anyone can get a non-immigrant waiver, if it is that you were taking drugs into the United States, more than a little ganja on you that you've left in your bag or something, if you're importing significant quantities, then we need to take a look at it. We need to take a look. Some cases, there was duress why the person had to do it, and we can look at the specifics surrounding why you had marijuana in you. But from a general perspective, if you were removed for drug trafficking, more than 30 grams, unless you have some very extenuating circumstances, I will not even touch the case. I won't touch it.
Well, that looks like it for now then, Miss Dahlia.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure as always. And let me give my numbers if anyone wants to get in touch with me. In the United States, we practice immigration law throughout the United States, all 50 states, and family law in Florida. It's 954-963-8555, 954-963-8555 to reach me. And if you want to connect through Jamaica, it's 876-969-9666. That's 969-9666 or 925-0949. Looking forward to next week, Dervan.
Same here.
Well.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You've just listened to Your Legal Corner, your source of information for all matters regarding U.S. immigration. Join us next Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for Your Legal Corner during both sides of the story, right here on Power 106 FM. At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4:02 on Power 106.
Here is a financial literacy tip from your friends at Power 106 FM. Understand, it's in your power to have a positive relationship with money. A change in our financial situation starts with a change in how we think about money. Clearing out any negative feelings like insecurity or fear about money can help remove the blockages that may prevent improving your financial well-being. Your relationship with money is not fixed. It's one that can evolve over your lifetime. Very important things about the psychology behind your relationship with money. Money is about emotions, not just finance. Anxiety or avoidance of money issues may create a vicious cycle, and your upbringing may affect how you manage your money. With awareness, insight, and knowledge, you can start working to make empowered decisions about your money.
Yes, I will. He says education is the thing if you want to compete. Because without his son, life ain't very sweet. I love this man and I don't know why.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm, and we are going to be taking more of your calls once again. 876 922 4112 to 5. 876 922 4112 to 5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. Why are we hearing that radio in the background? 876 365 3346. And let's see what we have here. Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says, Mr. Malcolm, whenever we have a motor vehicle crash that cause, caused by bad driving, the government tends to raise traffic fines. But whenever we have crashes that are caused by bad roads, they don't go around fixing the bad roads. It's just business as usual. But the leaders in Mandeville are taking a different approach to the bikers. They're educating them to be more responsible on the road, says Horace, otherwise known as Spider. Thank you very much for your message. This one in reference to the interview we had with Igor Allen earlier on, saying, Dervan, good day, and your visitor. I am building another home that will not take any loan, but build 2 rooms, live in it, and build slowly. There are a lot of people going that route. 100 building blocks and 4 bags of cement each month. No loan. And asking questions here now, is JN Jamaica National? If yes, I didn't hear Petal mention the name. Not everyone knows that JN is Jamaica National. Another one here, can a person who has a tattoo donate blood? Sorry you didn't send us that question earlier. We could have had Igor Allen responding to that. But we still have time, so send us a text or call us and tell us if a person who has a tattoo can donate blood. And another message, the blood bank needs to give monetary incentives for blood donation, and they wouldn't have to do any more advertising. Give a minimum of $1,000, which can buy 2 pounds of chicken back, seasoning rice, or flour for a night dinner. Jamaica has become a nothing for nothing country. If you think I am joking about incentives, you ask the blood bank representative to try. Good afternoon to Franklin McDonald. What is he looking at this afternoon? Blood Cancer UK, father of the blood bank, Charles R. Drews. Thank you for directing our attention in that regard, Franklin McDonald. This one says, Dervan, can you ask her if one has to pay to deposit and withdraw money? And this question would be for Petal James, if she's still listening, or anybody from the JN group. One of our listeners is asking if one has to have, if one has to pay to deposit and withdraw money. And this one, JD Tan, we should think clearly about what. Okay. Another message is coming through. We also have to clear some other messages. In fact, we have two persons holding on the line, or holding on two separate lines, or trying to get in at the same time. Bear with us, please. That's on the text line, same as the WhatsApp number. And so we're going to go with this caller here. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling both sides of the story.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. And you? Any idea if do you have any idea what is causing the sounds we're hearing where you are?
Sorry, I'm in my car. My air conditioning is running, so that's why. Sorry, I turned it off.
Okay.
You were talking about road safety, and I couldn't tell myself from calling you. I was in Jamaica recently, as I think I told you. I was going to stay for the conference, but I had to come back. Dervan, they dig up, the main Corridon road, the Rosa Road to go into Montego Bay, coming from Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a water main, the water main broke right after the Apostle police station, and they dug a huge trench in the road, right? And they fixed the water main. It happened right before I've gotten there. The water main broke. So they fixed the main, the water pipe, and they left the trench just like that in the road. And that's basically on the highway. People driving that road literally almost 100 miles an hour, 100 kilometers per hour. Yeah. So if you come in and you don't know that here, Dervan, you will cause an accident or end up running off the road. Very dangerous. Why would you do something like that, Dervan?
Just carelessness. Carelessness.
I can't. So for 3 weeks, I was there. It's like that for 3 weeks, and it's still like that when I left there. Yesterday was still like that, Dervan. I just can't help myself but to say, why?
I'd love to hear why, actually. What's the thinking behind it?
I just can't understand it. And I asked people, they said that's what the water commission people are. They'll just dig up the road and left it just like that. So I could understand if it was a local road, side road, whatever it is. That's literally it's an highway, and you're coming down, and it's at night. You don't see it. You're gonna cause an accident. You probably end up causing your life, Dervan. Just can't understand it. The same way on top road, they fix something at the side of the road, and you come in. You have to be the trucks and stuff are just swinging out of that whatever they dug up and left it there. I don't get it, Dervan. I just can't get it. A truck filling it, and the truck almost jump up in the air, guys. The truck gonna swing out of it. The trucks are wide, and then the truck would jump up in the air. I was right behind the truck, and the truck wasn't going fast. So, Dervan, again, it doesn't take money. It doesn't take a lot of work just to fix it. You don't have to fix it permanently, to fix it nicely so that it doesn't cause an accident. I don't get it, Dervan. I just don't get it. Another thing, Dervan, in Jamaica, white people in Jamaica have dogs. Okay, they have these dogs, but they let them out on the road. They let them out to come in your yard, And these dogs, they just mess all over the place, Dervan. People are like, what? Is it? There's no conscience. They don't have no. What is it, Dervan?
It's a matter of culture, actually.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have no shit. We don't have no, what do you call it, education. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I live in maybe I live in the United States too long. I don't know. But I mean, there are a couple of neighborhoods like that here. But I don't live in that kind of neighborhoods. Where you have a dog, and the dog roam the street and you mess up on the street. You're walking out, you're watching for dog mess.
Yeah, remember, we have not always looked out for the dogs in a good way in Jamaica. We've had a reputation of
Why you want to own a dog, Dervan? Why?
to give some kind of protection by virtue of having the same animal that they might mistreat. It's the same animal that they are looking to protect them.
I guess, I don't know. That's all those dogs, you could tell they're not being taken care of because they look very hungry. Like they're not being taken care of, Dervan. So that's the next thing. I think I touched on the hospital there, all original. I'm close relative of mine there. And it's sad, Dervan. You're telling me, Dervan.
Which hospital is that? Or you don't want to say?
Cornwall.
Oh, Cornwall Regional.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know they have a temporary thing going on because it's fixing that stuff for so long, and it's just a shame. But tell me, Dervan, you're in the hospital, and you're telling me you have to buy a fan of your relatives?
Yeah, if you want to keep your relatives comfortable, you're gonna try your best.
Is that fair for taxpayer, Dervan?
I mean, with or without the support of the hospital, there are some of us who, because we can afford it, we're gonna go out and buy a fan and put the name of the family member on it. It's just one of those things. Hold a moment, please. One moment, please. We need to take a break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
Join us weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. for Power Play, Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to the world of sports.
We want to welcome to another edition of Power Play. My name is Cliff Williams.
Power Play with Cliff Williams, focusing on everything sports in Jamaica and around the world. Make sure to tune in to Power Play, providing invigorating sports analysis and discussion, weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
I'll follow this man love.
Thanks for holding. Please continue.
So Dervan, you don't think that the taxes that we pay, we should able, if a person gets sick and go to the hospital?
Well, you and I might very well think so and act accordingly. Different strokes for different folks. Ideally, yes, we want a situation where the conditions are perfect. We have to work on that to get anywhere near perfect. But what we need to, I can't deal with the noise though, you know. Jeez, I'm allergic to noise. Sorry. I'm allergic to noise. That sound that keeps coming through.
Sorry, I'm New York City, so the noise again.
Yeah, this is a condition that has been with us for a long time. There are ebbs and flows. It comes and it goes. And there are particular groups and individuals who make it their point of duty to play their part one way or another. But the bottom line is that it is supposed to be driven by taxpayers. We're supposed to, as a country, earn revenue to be able to take care of the key sectors of education, healthcare, security, infrastructure. But if we don't effectively manage the resources, as limited as they are, then some of us might very well become victims of the system.
I still, my take on the whole thing is that a fan can cost more than $50, and a fan can last probably for a couple of years as well. So you can't tell me that as a government you can't provide fun for the fact that they're the bed. You don't have AC in the hospital, right? There's no AC there. So you can't tell me you can't put a fan at the bed, right? Or close by our share, whatever. So you can circulate the air in the hospital. You can't.
But the hospital environment too is such that people move around things, and there is constant sanitization that takes place. And you might find that your fan is there today, but somehow ends up somewhere else in the hospital tomorrow.
Well, the one that they put there is the one that they put over the like screw into the wall or screw into the wall. That's the one that they recommend that you have to buy.
The wall fan.
Freestanding one.
Mm-hmm.
So my take on that, every bed, if you don't have an AC, every bed should be able to have a fan like that. That's my take. If you want to turn it on, you turn it on. If you don't want it, you don't want it. But most of the time you're gonna need it because there's no air condition and it's hot there. And it's very hot and you're sick. So I just don't know why the government can't or the people who run the hospital can't able to have that there. It's just not acceptable in my opinion.
Well, you can put it in writing and express how you feel about it and see if it does make a difference. We sometimes take for granted that kind of outreach, where as an individual you see something and you act on it and it makes a difference.
Yeah, I'm probably going to write a letter to Minister Tufton, but I know they're trying to fix the hospital. It's taking so long, and they're making a new hospital, and I'm saying to myself, if they knew they were going to make a new hospital, why they didn't build a church hospital first, use it as a temporary hospital, and then they fix up the other one. I thought well, maybe they didn't know. I guess that they would have built a new hospital, I guess, but I thought that would be better. It's taking too long, Dervan. Too long for that cardiac hospital to be fixed up. Too long and costing too much.
Yes, indeed.
I just don't understand. And then a quick thing about the garbage collection. I don't know if it's in Mobile only, but I spoke to the guy yesterday and he said that to drive from Kingston to come to Montego Bay, you get the garbage picked up maybe every other week, maybe every 3 weeks. That's not good, Dervan.
Well, I don't know about that. I'd have to investigate that.
No, well, I'm telling you, that what the guy told me yesterday, because it was there for 2 weeks. My guy didn't get picked up for 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks. And he said the reason why, because they had to drive the truck from Kingston to Montego Bay.
Yes, and unfortunately, that too is a perennial problem. So this is my take on the whole thing, Dervan, and this is why I'm not saying I'm going to give up, but I feel like I'm about to give up. Why would you give yourself 300% raise, and we have all these problems? Okay, not talking about the school. We're not even talking about the school and it's for the roads. Let's talk about the three stuff I talk about: the hospital, the roads, and the garbage. Right? Why would you give yourself 3% raise on all these things? Why don't you take care of those things first
and then you come back and say, you know what, I have done, people give you good marks and whatever, and then you can say, you know what, we deserve a raise. Why wouldn't that from? Why you give yourself this huge raise, Dervan, and all these problems?
Because they can. Because they can. Because they can.
I tell you, and that's why I tell you the truth. I love my country, but I don't know. It's I don't know. It's very heartbreaking, though. I can tell you that. And the nurse I called, the one I went and saw there, they are overworked. I don't know they do it. I give them a lot of credit. I know sometimes people complain about them. The reason why they are so feisty sometimes is they're overworked. We did this one nurse having 8, sometimes 8, more than 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 patients, like 16 patients I deal with. Oh, one nurse can do that, Dervan.
Well, because it's a Jamaican nurse, and I'm not being cheeky. I'm not being cheeky.
But there's no way that nurse can give the care to those patients. I mean, 16 patients. I deal with it. In no way, Dervan.
Yeah, we always talk about the Jamaican nurses, and are always in demand from other countries, etc. So that's.
I'm gonna get off here with Dervan, but again, the people should be very upset that you, the government, can give yourself a huge raise while these nurses have to leave the country to go to work other places. They can't get nothing close to more. What they get? What much raise they get, Dervan? What's the raise the public say the nurses got?
What's it? 20% or 15%? I don't know.
Okay, you give them 20%. I don't even think I got that. I think it was 16%, something like that. But you said 20, and you give yourself 20% raise, huh? Well, let me not talk about your time, man. But I'm very upset, man. Very, very upset of the condition and the people need to have a different mindset. You cannot have your dogs. Okay, it's your dogs. Okay, you cannot have them on the road. Just roaming the street, messing the street up. Coming to my yard, mess my yard. It's a bad mindset. Dervan, I'm pretty sure someone will come in and say something.
Yeah, it's a lack of accountability right around. That's what it boils down to. Those who are supposed to take charge or lead in certain areas, they don't.
And Dervan, I'm not. Honestly, I'm not talking about. Let me just say it. I'm not saying people in community that is so-called ghetto or whatever it is. Those people should think a different way. I think a different way. You have some good people living in so many poorest neighborhoods in Jamaica. But this is not even a community like that. It's an upscale community. And these people think like that. They think, just like in my opinion, that action is more that the people who are living in the so-called ghetto. You have your dogs in your yard, and you buy a dog, and you want to have a dog. You should treat a dog like part of your family. You can't let a dog go around the road and mess up on the road. I'll talk to you another time, Dervan. Take care.
All right. Thanks for the call. The circumstances notwithstanding.
No, man. Thanks, mate.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. And let's see who else has been messaging us here on both sides of the story. GBO says, hello, Dervan. Love him or hate him, Damian Crawford is undeniably the beacon of hope for the People's National Party. While I may not always align with Mr. Crawford's views, I must confess that I have closely followed his journey through various media platforms over the years. What I have witnessed is an individual who continues to mature and evolve right before our eyes. I sincerely hope that he remains committed to his newfound wisdom and refrains from reverting to past antics that may have caused skepticism, like tricks you, in stark contrast to the de facto leader, Peter II, and his close ally, Mark, the esteemed comrade leader of the party. Damien brings forth an array of plausible solutions that resonate with the public. Not only does he propose solid resolutions, but he also possesses the ability to substantiate and defend his arguments. This is a glaring concern within the PNP today, the lack of a leader who can effectively communicate policies like Damien. Over the years, the party has shown a propensity for favoring popularity over conscience. Well grounded leaders often resorting to mudslinging tactics to secure victory. Unfortunately, this approach has partly hindered our nation's progress whenever the PNP assumes power, leading us to take significant steps backward. As a nation, it is imperative that we embrace mature leadership on both sides of the political spectrum. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
Both sides of the story. The Bureau of Gender Affairs, an agency of the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, will be hosting the Outstanding Father Awards this Friday, June 14, at the Talk of the Town at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. The awards aim to acknowledge and celebrate the vital role of fathers and father figures within families and in the wider society, and by extension, their contributions to nation building. Join Power 106 FM for a live outside broadcast of both sides of the story from 2 to 5 p.m. for highlights of the event. This broadcast is brought to you by the Bureau of Gender Affairs, 529 South Odeon Avenue, Kingston, an agency of the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport. That's a broadcast of both sides of the story from the Bureau of Gender Affairs Outstanding Father Awards this Friday, June 14, Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston from 2 to 5 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
She said she thought that she could never love again. And then there he stood with that big wide grin. He married my mother and he took us in. And now we belong to the man with that big wide grin. I've got to color this man father. I'm gonna color him love. Color him love. I've got to color him father. I believe I'll color this man love.
These messages are quite long. Let's see how well we do. I implore Mark Golding to take a page out of Damien's book and present us with practical, actionable solutions for Jamaica, rather than dwelling on absurd statements and merely reacting to the Integrity Commission's announcements instead of providing findings after conducting thorough investigations. It is high time we demand a transparent and effective governance. We have witnessed former finance ministers step down in December 1991 over the Shell waiver scandal. Upon his resignation, he said, "I shall return," and he did as a prime minister, only to return to power and disappoint. We have also observed a current member of parliament embroiled in corruption scandals, yet they escape harsh consequences under the guise of youthful exuberance. Corruption knows no party affiliation. And what we truly need are leaders who not only criticize the opposition, but also demonstrate genuine concern and outline their plans of action to fix the problems. Unfortunately, Mr. Golding has proven himself to be a master of inconsistency, saying one thing when it suits him and doing the opposite. This lack of trustworthiness has left many Jamaicans wary of his leadership. We yearn an alternative prime minister with an untarnished reputation, someone who possesses integrity and a genuine desire to serve the people. We need a leader who is of action, not a bag of mouth, says GBO. Here is a call on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Or hold on, just a moment. I'm hearing two voices. One of Miss Mervis. She's the one now?
No,
And the other the other person. Okay, so let's go to the male on the line and come back to the
Good
female.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Dervin. I'm gonna put our mind back to approximately 400 years ago, when Jamaica was ruled by pirates. Do you remember the days of Henry Morgan, Dervan?
Those of us who have read the history are familiar with those details. Yes.
Yeah, and it was such a story of intrigue, and sometimes we ask ourselves, is it that the fact that the world go around in a circle? Do you believe, Dervan, that the world is on an axis going around on a circle?
Has it ever stopped?
Well, we always say things will happen, always come back every 100 or 200 years. And sometimes it even go further back. Because I'm saying now, Van, and I'm going to bring in a word, clemency. Do you understand that word, Dervan? Clemency.
Off the top of my head, some doing with some level of compassion.
Compassion, Dervan. Compassion. But Dervan, did you know that during the time of Henry Morgan, our country was once in the reality of Port Royal? It was once said to be the wickedest country on the face of the earth.
Richest and the wickedest.
The richest and the wickedest. But Dervan, do you think that past is still haunting us, Dervan?
Anything is possible along those lines.
Well, Dervan, I must put up a disclaimer now. I am going to put up a disclaimer. Dervan, I am not a fan of this world boss personnel. I am not a fan of this world boss personnel whatsoever. He is cartel. I am not a fan of cartel. I don't like his music, Dervan. I am not a fan of his music and his behavior. But Dervan, after hearing and Dervan, many would be saying, after I speak to the next 2 or so minutes, many would be saying, but there was a victim, but there was a family. But Dervan, I am going to bring up the word passion and clemency, because Dervan, when the Privy Council took up this gentleman, this man cartel case couple months ago, it was the fact that his lawyer put forward to the Privy Council that this man was suffering from a very grave disease. And I'm not saying that in reference to grave, that he'll be soon dying, but the disease is called grave. And it is showing on this man that his eyes bulging, and he's behaving like he is very anxious, and his son is saying that, and the medical fraternity is also saying that this man here is on dead doors. This man here is on dead door because his heart is not working the way it should. It's working less than 50%. And Dervan, the white man has given this gentleman a hearing, and I see that he expedite his hearing because of his ill health, and them use the word squash. That means that the Privy Council show it out. I'm not going to use the term, but the Privy Council show it out. Them squash it, send it back to the Jamaican court. But Dervan, I am going to ask our government. I am going to ask the judicial system, where is the mercy? Where is the clemency? Dervan, we in Jamaica, we are returning to that long time ways of our beloved country. Have become one of the wickedest country on the face of the earth, Dervan. Our country now have become one of the wickedest country on the face of the earth once again, because we do not have clemency and passion. And a sick man, where is the passion? Where is the passion, Dervan? Where is the passion? Where is the church? Where is the church? Where is the Governor General in this one? Where is he? Where is the Governor Dervan? Our country is so deeply corrupted now. The passion is not there again. The passion is not there again, Dervan. We do not have that that passion in us again. We're not sorry for nobody again. Everybody is for themselves. And Dervan, if it's so, this little country, I could just keep on going. Only God can help us, Dervan. Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you for the call. All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, my dear.
Good afternoon, Miss Mervis.
God bless you all the time.
Bless you too.
And the reason why I have to say blessing for all journalists, never get threat. You know? Yes. I'm going to start by adding to something I said the other evening on your program. When I spoke to good afternoon to the staff and listeners all over the world, from Jamaica, beyond. When I said that the ministry message on here is saying that the government don't have a solution to the problem, the opposition don't have it, the police don't have it. What I really meant, I want to clarify this, that no one entity can do it. You know what I mean? That was what I really meant. No one entity. Efforts are being made all over the place, but no one entity can do it. And that is why you need this 1 year thing where all entities get together and from Negril Point to Moran Point simultaneously. Because when you start to do certain things at a one place and call it a pilot program, some of the people from this will move on to other places or them going to rent them guns somewhere. And for example, if you have certain things that you don't see nobody are turning the gun, let me tell you, so nothing not go on yet. You see? So I just want to clarify what I said if anybody mistook what I said. To me, nothing is working. Yes, some things are working, but it needs that combined effort.
One moment, please, Miss Mervis.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Here is a financial literacy tip from your friends at Power 106 FM. Cut back on recurring charges. Do you subscribe to services you never use? It's easy to forget about monthly subscriptions to streaming services and mobile apps that charge your bank account, even when you're not regularly using these services. Review your spending for charges like these and consider canceling unnecessary subscriptions to hold on to more money each month. Power 106 FM, the digital sound, and now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can tune in on your mobile phones by dialing 631-359-8281 if you're in the US. And if you're in the UK, you can dial 0330-606-0953. Plus, listen to us on onespotmedia.com and the OneSpot Media app, or log on to go-jamaica.com. Power 106 FM, where all views can contend, giving you powerful talk radio in so many ways, on air and online.
This man father, I'm gonna color him love, color him love. I've got to color him father. I believe I'll color this man love.
Thanks for holding, Miss Mervis. Please continue.
Yes, my darling. I want to tell Mr. Crawford, you see, that he's calling for education tax. We asked for education tax in the JTA way down the road. When the secondary and primary schools were very badly funded because this free university education came up, and the government didn't have what it takes to deal with the whole system. And we used to have a lot of financial problem, and that's where a lot of fundraising started in the education system. Teachers we have to do a lot of fundraising for quite a number of things. And the other thing is, during the PNP regime, they put in this cash sharing thing in the education system. So that collection being done by schools was put there by the government. And I remember telling one of our past leaders that some children prostituting themselves to get that cash sharing money. And I said to my fellow teachers at conference, I don't think we should collect that money as an additional tax. Because cash sharing is nonsense, because the people, the citizens were already paying the cost of education. So to call that cash sharing doesn't make sense to me. You see, so that cash sharing money, that collection by schools was put there by government when I was there. And the other thing again, the first time government give any income tax relief, well, you used to have to file your income tax, whatever, and if they feel like them give you back some money. But this income tax relief thing that was there, it was the Jamaica Teachers Association negotiation that requested tax relief. Because when they give us the raise of your Dervan, if you see how much money come out back for tax, it was disgraceful. I remember one time I was so disgusted that after that, I said, none of my money buying, because them not used to get nothing to work with Dervan. We used to have a fundraiser, pick up what you call it, cardboard, all that store and all them things. And nobody, them give us one grant to buy 2 little cartridge paper and 2 marker. You not get nothing to work with. We used to have to produce what we work with. I don't know down at the primary level, that's what happened. You see it. So I am saying that being in the system for 1965, coming up, I know the system very well. And that tax that we ask, that income tax we ask, the government just give everybody across the board. For the salary negotiation, they never half out none of JTA ask for that tax relief. You see it? And this whole matter of education tax, instead of they give us the tax, them throw the tax in the consolidated fund, they didn't give us the tax. We asked for the tax to assist the education system down the road. JTA asked it during negotiation and so on. So I always in the mix of everything down there. And they didn't give us the tax and take it to the consolidated fund. So what he's asking for is something that we have already done. And I remember Mr. Patterson taking $1 billion out of the housing trust to deal with education transformation. I don't know what happened to that transformation up to now. You see it? So some of these things that some of these politicians coming up with are things that has already been done. And I am really upset. I don't know, last night I saw a lady on the news, on the foreign news, and she was saying something about there must be some miracle in Jamaica why in the midst of everything Jamaica is able to manage financially the way it is managing. Yes, it's a miracle. But one of the things, what God said to me, said these politicians are good at money juggling, Dervan. Because them have something in consolidated fund where they throw everything in, Dervan. Yeah? Because what you're doing, I was one of the person taking them on with the housing trust money down the road, I never hear anybody. Me on the radio say the housing trust is a trust fund, it is not a revenue collection unit. Why are you going in the housing trust? Because the little money where they give some of us to make house down here, we didn't make them the fall cool with it or something, you see? You can't turn in the bathroom, the kitchen, them you have reverse and go back in. You know what I mean? Some kind of houses, look for the amount of money housing trust bank up there is a disgrace. What they give some people per house and down the road. I was wondering why, although I paid for technical officer to oversee my building, my house, it on the document that I paid for that. And the technical officer did not look at this place from start to finish. Now I'm realizing that it looked like they had one technical officer Dervan for the whole parish. So them tell you say you must go use somebody where they built the housing trust long time. And I down the road the whole way I find out everybody was told that when nothing got so. Because when something happened, I went to Mr. Holden and down there. The man said to me there's no such thing in a housing trust. You don't see it. So the whole idea is some whole heap of rubbish and nonsense going down the road. The housing trust money, them using the housing trust money like revenue. That's why so much squatting in the place. And police have so much trouble with the squatter settlement them. Because the housing trust money, you know, me feel like the international them need to shut up the Dervan. Eh? Them don't know what is happening in here, you know. Because when them say Mr. Omar Davis was the best finance minister and the man locked down the place with Finsack, with the Finsack thing and mash up a whole heap of business, the business sector. But what through the meeting, you know, nonsense. Them go out with and he's still alive and we spend so much money for Finsack. And we can't get it. We used to live on agenda every morning and put that on the agenda down the road. Where is the Finsack report? What we pay so much money for? It's not coming. But Mr. Man was alive. All them had to do was to call him and let him tell us why he locked down the bank. And nobody asking that. Nobody get that out of then. Now them talking about this finance minister Dervan right on your program 2010. God said to me, said, tell the nation stop peddling the dollar. Because the dollar value is the nation problem. Nobody speaking to that. You no politician from down the road ever speak to revaluing this dollar, you know. And if this minister don't know that, the fact that the dollar no have no value, it takes too much to pay back the national debt. He's not a finance minister yet. Because one day when Mr. Perkins was on, God said to me, say, you know, when the dollar slip 1 cent, the national debt go up. And I called him and said to him, and this guy named Leslie, that just like how you hear Mr. Gentleman, what's his name again, always come on with this financial thing. What's his name again?
Ralston Hyman?
No, man, they want to come on to your program. Call you professor, call no professor all the way.
Oh, you mean Neville Carter?
Yes. Just as how you hear him talking about the tax collection and all them kind of things that were not going on. The IMF, Mark Bolin said not very long ago, so it was the IMF that told him to go and use the housing trust money. He said it, I heard it with my ears. Now we're right at the IMF, we're going to tell him to do that. And who run this country and we are the IMF? Eh? That time that all the government needed to do, you know, Dervan was to go and collect the taxes out there, you know. You know, for your government, them sit down, they only collect 40% of the taxes and keep on overburdening the PAYE people. When Seaga come in a power and put in something in the back tax act, they don't collect taxes some people are not paying. And IMF never have no right for going to tell the then government for going to the IMF but take the money. Almost $1 billion then take out every year out of the housing trust, I mean. As tax, and it's not a tax collection unit. It is a trust fund. Eh? It's time we make them international who don't know what's going on in Jamaica shut up, you know. It hurt me because I sit down in here over the years following everything and seeing what is happening. And I'm talking gross rubbish. This country is in dire problem from long time. The police don't have no care. The hospital not this. The school not that. And all kind of something are going long time across political divide. And them out there trying to tell us how to solve the problem. They don't know what the problem is. Jamaican people need to get together and build them country. Because them come down here and take over best nurse and we best doctor. You know why? The dollar has no value. Can't buy nothing. Can't buy land, Dervan. You have to go foreign to go buy land. And we're losing all our best people. As Dr. Gale said. If you lose all your best people, who you have here to be? We don't have them to deal with in a hospital. The best one not here for the school system. We just produce them. Why these countries not take them when them leave high school, Dervan? And carry them at their country and train them? Why don't we wait until when we spend how much money on them, then come for them? You see, except we not get up and deal with this dollar value. I don't care what kind of somebody the finance minister is, the whole of them. None of them say nothing about doing things to get this dollar revalue. All them do is go to the road to bring poor people in here. Bring in people. Just to set up some chains that store only a sell, you know. No production, no go on. All the agriculture is supposed to have a whole heap of processing plant and something. When things in a glut and it's a waste. And every day them just go there and bringing in people with a 20, 24, how much line and store what they're doing. Simply selling. But you know what God said? You see, when the year of national repentance and reconciliation begin, we begin to write off some of the things that we're not supposed to come in here. At time we start to do that now. Manly the tribe. Mr. Michael man, let it try. I tell you, we get up and write off and start to produce things in this place, man. This is slackness. Me no want hear nothing from them internationally again. Thanks for everything, you hear?
All right, Miss Mervis, take it easy.
Me really upset with what going on in my country.
We can hear that. Thanks for the call. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Thursday, the 13th of June, 2024. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. I think we'll be at the, where did I write it? At the, it's in the promo, but it's scheduled for tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. And just keep listening, you'll hear what that is all about. Happening tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5, and it will be live right here on Both Sides of the Story. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
He married my mother and he took us in. And now we belong to the man with that big wide grin. I like to color this man father. I'm gonna color him love. I've got to color him father. We gotta color this man love. He's just been so good to me. I've got to color him love. I'm gonna color him father. I've got to color this man love. He's just been so good.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.